This is David Rodeker. I'm going to be talking about performance of SQL with using functions. We tend to use a lot of functions because they're useful to just simplify some business logic and get a quick answer out of things. And so really like using them, but sometimes they've ended up backfiring in performance over time as tables grow. So here's something that we determined that we can do about that. If you see here, I've got two different views. The first view is taking a table, just slimmed it down to showing exactly that it's just getting a table for a record, and then it uses two functions, which we call paying and suspended. So this view works fine, and then you can query the view and say, hey, is someone paying? Is someone suspended? It's a Boolean that it returns. And then, so just getting the top records from that using the function, and I get a bunch of good data, and it seems to come back snappy. What happens is with doing joins across that table, though, it starts to get slow, and you don't really know that it's due to this scalar function. And it becomes a little, we saw some dramatic impacts with a couple of queries. I'll show here one. So what I've seen here is that if I run the function, the first function, it takes about 20 seconds. But if I replace that with a CrossApply function, it goes immediate. So just to repeat that, the regular function is just processing these functions, and it puts it into a view where I've filtered based upon the value output of those functions. So function is this view called function is just querying on the output of those, whereas in the second CA2, I'm calling this, I'm doing a cross apply. So CA meaning cross apply, and this is essentially taking these two functions and putting it into a table valued function. So that cross apply, you pass it a parameter, which is essentially a join, and by doing that, you can get really dramatic differences. And so I've captured here that this one takes like 20 seconds to run. It's pretty clocked in to do that. And let me show while that's running how that cross-apply function, scalar function works, or table valued function, sorry. TFN member info. Yeah, so that just came back after 20 seconds. Let me go ahead and open that up. So in here, this one is immediate. So 100 rows in both of them. This one comes immediate, the other one takes that long. And let's just see if SQL thinks that's going to be the estimated plan for this as well. It probably would. Where is the estimated statistics? Yep, indeed. It thinks the first one's 79% and the next one is 20%. Not exactly the ratio that we see, but it certainly shows you that it's a lot more costly to do this. So that scalar function here is really doing the logic of those two functions and just putting it into a select statement where the member ID is passed in. So member ID passed in, function that returns a table, and then that table is simply taking the logic of what those other functions did and put them right here in the select statement. So the results are pretty dramatic, and probably then we should look to get rid of the usage of these functions and completely use that cross apply. And we've done that in a number of places simply by adding this statement here, putting the thing. You don't actually need to put a joining statement after this, which is kind of counterintuitive, but that's how the parameter passes in. Hope that's useful, and we can use it.